now, come on! Come on!
Lock it out!
Come on!
Lock it out!
Right, okay guys, so welcome in. I've got one today, and I'm not going to lie, this is the 4th time doing this. We can't pretend it wasn't, because camera screwed up anyway. But no, I've got with me a good friend of mine, Dan, Flash Dan, known in the Strongman world. Obviously, these videos are all about trying to enlighten people, show the insights of different people's lives, and obviously Dan's, you know, agreed to come on, which thank you very much, man. I'm going to go through some questions. I've got them literally under the screen, so in case you see me looking down. But first of all, Dan, obviously, you know, you've been around in the Strongman world for quite some years now.
Yeah, coming up 8 years, yeah.
Cool. So you've been around, you've seen all the different, I suppose you've been to the top, man, as well.
Yeah,
it's,
yeah.
You know, and I look up to you for that myself. But what got you into Strongman initially?
So I used to play rugby, sort of academy level, and then I had to stop playing due to concussions, multiple concussions in a season, and that was me then struck off forever. Like
Medically,
yeah. Struck off, yeah, not playing for 8 years. And then I was just mooching around the gym one day, sort of, it was about a month afterwards, feeling a bit sorry for myself, a bit lost, not knowing what to do, and I saw a good friend of mine at the time as well, Adam Bishop, still a good friend to be fair. You might have seen him on World's Strongest Man. He's competed there twice, I think, and this year will be his 3rd year there. And he was just lifting a log in the gym, still quite a small lad at the time, 95 kilos, like not much to him, and I just walked over and said, "What you doing? What you training for?" And he said, "Strongman." And I said, "Can I give it a bash?" Like, picked up a 60 kilo log, thought it felt like about 160 kilos, and then just went from there. We started training together, and he put me in a comp after about 3 months of training for Strongman, and that's thrown in at the deep end.
Is he younger?
Yeah, he's younger. He's 3 years younger than me, I think. He's Bish, but a lot wiser.
Yeah.
To say that.
If none of you have seen him, look him up. Adam Bishop.
Adam
I think he's 140 something now.
146 kilos. Big lad.
he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's going World's Strongest Man.
Yeah.
But what was your old training then? What was it that?
So it was rugby league that I played. So very much endurance game. Whereas I'm being strong, so you have to be physically strong but physically very fit as well, because it's sort of 80 minutes of pure endurance basically. Did
you find that was quite the strongman game-ish?
It helps with certain events. A lot of our training was based around power building, so cleans, snatching, dynamic movements. So it was never just straight up bench press, it was always dynamic bench press. So in the gym that we trained at, we had a spring action bench and everything like that. So
nice. So a stand-up one, isn't it?
Yeah. So, and a stand-up jammer, just to really explode, and it was a one-off movement. So that was what my training style was all based around. Helps with certain events. I found it like I felt good under a yoke all the time, very speedy, quick on my feet. But then when it came to static one-up stuff, you know, I've really had to work hard at that, and it's only over the last 2 or 3 years that I've really started to realise some static strength, because I was very poor statically, especially overhead.
You was built for the speed
I
endurance,
was built for
suppose,
speed, yeah. So my overhead wasn't there, and now sort of, without blowing my own trumpet, I'm one of the best, probably one of the best overhead pressers in the division.
For your information, I'm trying to chase him.
No, you equal me to that. So yeah, we're getting there. But no, it's the static thing was something I had to really work on. But the speed and power definitely came in and helped me in the strongman game with those initial events, yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Okay, so what is some of your best lifts going into some glory grabbing?
Well, we'll go slightly then across the sort of what people know as the big. I'll say the big four. So squat, I've squatted 260 kilos. Bench, I've benched 200. Everyone cares about the bench press. It's what when you say you lift weights, everyone goes, "What do you bench?" So yeah, I've benched 200. Deadlifted 302.5. That 2.5 is very important. And overhead, I've put 150 over my head. So
was that a normal bar axle? Normal axle. Yeah.
So I mean, decent numbers.
Very big numbers.
Ones that I want to sort of progress on this year, especially my deadlift and my overhead. I want to take my overhead up to 160 and my deadlift probably up to around the 310, 320 mark, and then, you know, really competitive weights there at the level that I'm at.
Yeah, no, for sure. And you know, obviously, I'll say from my angle, like, you keep me on my toes, man. You know, I'm trying to chase for you. It's good that we've got that, you know, that competitiveness between us. But
I've been coming to you coming to training with you for about a year now, and it's really helped me sort of push on.
Good.
Because where I was, sort of, there wasn't anyone really training with my style where I was initially, and it was tough to sort of progress because I was easily cruising into the gym, not really being pushed by anyone, and then I've come here and sort of snapping at my heels.
Yeah, good. But that's the same for me, man. That's it. No, it's good. But if you guys are not training with anyone, that's a tip to work towards. Go to somebody as well. I think, without going too deep into it, that people are they might look at someone, have an idol, but are they doing the same thing as you want to do, or are they in the place you want to be? It's probably a question to ask yourself. If they're not, divert yourself to someone that's doing the same sort of thing, and you know, vice versa with us too. But okay, cool. So something I asked you last time, which is a great thing. Do you train to compete or compete to train? I think it's having a competition is something big to you, isn't it?
Yeah. That's it for me. I train to compete.
Yeah.
Competition is always in my mindset. I can't really just stroll into the gym without any competition in mind.
Yeah.
I've always got to have that competition in mind, whether it's 20 weeks away, 25 weeks away, at least it's there, and I've got a focus then to build to. If I have nothing there in the future that I can see, then it's really hard for me to get motivated. And I find myself, I've had it before where I've had a year off for saying I've just walked into the gym and found it really difficult with what do I do, and just breezed in, done like an hour and walked out again and got nothing from it. So yeah, with that competition in mind, I've always got something then to drive towards, and that really pushes me beyond sort of safety levels, I guess, beyond not safety, as in beyond
your comfort, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah.
But this is the thing, I suppose some people it won't work for, right?
Yeah.
I'm the same as you, man. I like to know that there's something to work towards. But again, people that are struggling motivation-wise, have something that you're going to focus on. You know, it helps. It's having something that you're working towards, something you can see how good you are at something, and then work out what you need to do to better yourself at that movement or whatever it may be. But okay, so what does it? Well, how do you get ready for a comp? Like, what is it? Say, for example, your typical time. If you could choose how long a comp is away, is it 16 for you?
12 weeks.
So, what would it sort of look like 12 weeks out, like right at the start?
So right at the start, it'd be a lot of building. Like 3 weeks of I'm coached. I'm programmed by another good friend, Shane Jaman. If you don't know him, check him out. Very strong guy.
Again, very strong guy.
Self-plug. Well, plug for Shane there. But the first 3 weeks is sort of building blocks, so it's a lot of dynamic movement, a lot of reps, a hell of a lot of reps, low rest period, so getting your aerobic system set up to sort of...
But you won't be going heavy at all.
No, not at all.
And this is, I think, again, this is something that, you know, people need to learn, that you're going to a strongman competition. Why would you then hit the weights? The worst thing to do, I'm sure you'll back me up, but the worst thing to do is look at the weights and think, shit, I can't lift them weights. You know, but yeah, so you're getting the aerobic stuff in place.
In those 3 weeks, max percentage will be 60%. On anything.
Yeah.
But it'll be building the reps, shortening that rest period, so you're sort of ready to go. Because on comp day, you never know how long you're going to get on the day. I've done comps that have lasted an hour and a half. Done 6 events. I've done comps that have lasted 8 hours. You know, so you just don't know how long you're going to get.
Prep yourself for the lowest.
Prep yourself for the lowest, so then you're in the best place. So those 3 weeks of building, and then 9 weeks of pure sort of intensity up to it, with the last
progressive weightlifting.
Yeah, the last week being really light again and dynamic. So 8 weeks will be then progressive of building up to those weights that you need to be hitting, and just hitting the strength. And it works.
Yeah, and you've done a lot of them. You've done that many times.
But those 8 weeks are then focused, and you know exactly what you're doing. You're not killing yourself in those 8 weeks either. So you're starting lower than you need to be and building up to that heavy stuff. It's not about, like you've just said, bang straight in. You'll just break.
Yeah.
And you won't be able to keep going.
Which a lot of people do.
Yeah.
And they still do it over and over.
Yeah.
And it's trying to learn it, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
But another good question then I've got is, in your honest opinion, what you put your body through. Well, first of all, how hard is it what you put your body through? Because
it's difficult. Like anything like as much as walking around day-to-day life, like it seems a bit weird, but the chafing you get in your legs, just stuff like that. So putting your body through that, I bleed sometimes because I've walked unless I'm wearing jogging bottoms, and like I work a normal job as well, so you can't always do that. So and the body's sore, man, all the time. But aches, pains everywhere. Yeah.
Some days you don't want to train.
No, even as far as getting out of the car, just hurting. But I mean, it's always for a reason for me. So
again, you've got that competition in mind. It's something that you're focusing on.
Yeah.
Awesome.
If I'm not aching, I'm doing something wrong.
Yeah. And then it's like then days where you don't get pain. You think I'm going to be, ache tomorrow. Then you get there, and you're like, actually, I'm not in pain.
Yeah.
I've done something wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, so other than that, then what's the average week like for you?
Yeah. So at the moment, like building up to the comp, it's been 4 to 5 sessions a week. It should be 4 crammed in, but I've like sort of split it out to 5 just to give
recovery. Is it?
Recovery. It's losing a day's recovery, but minimising the sort of work that you're doing. So I'm more focused on everything that I'm doing in the gym.
Yeah, I suppose because the numbers are high now, aren't they?
Yeah, because the numbers are high. So I split it out to 5 days with 2 days recovery in there. Normally a Wednesday and a Friday. So 2 days.
Yeah, yeah.
And then that it's working well. Eating's just making sure I'm getting enough food in to fuel the body.
You're not that strict with your nutrition, all right?
No, not at the moment. No, just making sure the right amount of carbs are going in, the right amount of fats are going in, the right amount of proteins are going in.
And just for the obviously listeners, what is the right amount for you? Is it? And the reason I'm asking this, is it something you followed before and just know, or is it more like you know some numbers to hit?
No, it's trial and error.
Cool.
So it's something that I've done over time and that I know. It's normally about 300 grams of protein, carbs anywhere between 150 200 grams, and then fats are just built up over whatever.
And then with your carbs, you put them around training, or are you more like splitting them through the day? I think that's a big thing that
carbs
a lot of people
always
ask.
in the morning for me, or else I won't be able to function.
From the night before.
I need carbs in the morning. Probably lower carbs in the middle of the day, and then carbs after training.
So you split them out.
Split them out. My 2 high carb meals are breakfast and dinner. Then lunch,
and post,
which is sort of light.
Yeah. And obviously, you like you say, you do a normal job, right? Your days are long, aren't they? I think
days are long. Days can be long. Days can be challenging. A lot of driving.
But you still get your ass in the gym.
Yeah, always.
It's good.
Always.
But I think that again, it's something that many people do, don't they? They get at the end of the day and they're thinking, I'm fucked. I haven't got the energy. All these excuses come, right? We all do this. I do it myself. Yeah. Just tonight, I didn't want to do the rest of my session because I'd had a tough start of the session. But these things come into your head. It's that for you. It's that competing, isn't it? Of thinking I've got something to go for. I've got to keep doing it. I've got to keep pushing.
Yeah.
But keep your head above water.
That's it. It's just about setting a goal. Like whether it's fat loss, whether it's competing, whether it's getting fit, or whether it's getting stronger in your own environment.
Dropping a jean size, anything.
Yeah, just having something there to work towards. I always find just helps me do it. Like get in there and do it, because I feel guilty if not.
Yeah, perfect. And then, what is your advice that you would say to anyone wanting to give Strongman a go?
Just find the right environment, like that's got people there that know what they're doing, and the right kit, and just get in. Ask for help. Don't be afraid to ask anyone for help. I know, like the strongman world looks
scary,
like it's full of big dudes who are aggressive, who are whatever. But 99% of people that I've met are just really friendly, and you ask them a question, they'll be more than happy to help. And more so than ever, it's such an accessible sport. A lot of gyms are kitted out now with strongman equipment.
It is getting wider on the map.
Yeah,
it's like when I came from powerlifting strongman. The difference they are genuinely a friendlier sort of bunch. I say they as if they're a type of species, but just the environment. It's such a different environment, isn't it, to being locked up.
Don't be afraid to throw yourself into a comp either. That's where you learn. the most. You can spend 2 years in a gym getting good at all the events, but then you get on comp day and you never know what you're going to be like.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid just to throw yourself in.
Well, a little plug from me is obviously the Strongman comps we've got. So obviously you know Dan's literally my rock in this because he keeps me de-stressed through the day. But with these, the whole idea of them really was because I went into Strongman, thought it was tough, you know, sort of found my way through it. And again, like you say, there's so many people that think it's too scary, you can't do it, and you need to be strong. When actually that's not the answer, is it? It's like, it's not that, you don't have to be strong, it's about getting strong, but also because it's in the weight categories, you know, you've got something to focus on, something to work towards. But yeah, definitely it's rip plaster off.
We run good comps down here.
Yeah.
For first timers, and that is where you learn. That is where you earn your stripes as well. So.
Yeah, and that's again just to leave it on that. But that's where you program yourself from, isn't it? Yeah. Without doing the days, the PR days, or however you want to look at it. That's how you then program yourself, knowing your percentages going forward. But awesome. So I'm sure you all got massive value from that. Thanks a lot, Dan, for doing it, man. Is there anything you'd leave people with, sort of like as a motivational quote or anything that you've got? I know I've dropped you in here.
Good one from John Paul Sigmason. There's no reason to be alive if you can't do deadlift.
And on that bombshell,
well, I'm follow FlashDan87 on Instagram.
There you go. I'll let you plug it on that. But no, Dan, thank you very much, man. Awesome.
Cheers, mate.
Peace, brother.
Bye.